You're free. Bam.
Hey, hey, pop the trunk,
Yeah.
open up. I sold my soul a good price, out of sight. My hoe got talent, right? Whole squad ran, do that shit, yay.
All right. I'm back. Your boy Time Teller, and today we're going to be starting some coding videos. I mentioned the last video that I wanted to try it and see what I got. So we're going to be starting with Python. So if you don't have Python already downloaded, you go to their webpage, python.org. Then you can go to downloads, and I'm using a Windows computer, obviously, so I'm going to click on Windows. And then you find the Python release that you want. You usually want to go with the more updated version. So this would be mine because it thinks, I'm pretty sure these are all 86-bit, so it's basically for 32-bit systems computers, but it will run on a 64-bit operating system or computer like I have. So you want to find the one that you want. Once you have that, if you have Windows, you would click on this or in your search bar, and then you would type Python, and then you don't want to open the Python 3.6 64-bit desktop app. You want to open idle Python 3.6 64-bit. You want to open this one, not that one. So I already have that open, and I created this game-ish, like it's like a text game, a while back, and I kind of want to show you guys how to create this and how to like go with your own storyline. Okay, so in a usual like text adventure game, there is, excuse me, there is like delays in between things. I like to put delays in just because it makes it easier to read and easier to process. So the first thing we're going to do is type import and then time. So this will import the variable time, which allows you to, it allows the computer to know what, like you're adding a delay. If you don't have that, it's not going to add the delay, and it'll just look not very good. So we're going to do another one. We're going to do import, and then we're going to do system, but we're not going to type system. We're going to type SYS, so short for system. And then I like to keep my lines a little bit separated. So if you know a little bit about coding, like maybe you learned JavaScript, or maybe you've learned a little bit about Python, you want to type print, and then your parentheses, and then your quotes. So what this is doing, so the function print, it allows you to print a string or some numbers onto the screen. So let's say I want to print hello. Let's just do the classic hello world. So this is what it will look like. So to show you guys kind of what I'm talking about, you can Control S or save it, and then you can either click run, or just to make it easier, you can press F5, and then it'll run in the shell saying hello world. Okay. So I'm not going to keep that because I have like the storyline that I'm going to go with, and you guys can go with it too. It's like an adventure where you kind of like start in like a prison cell, and then you have to do these different things to try and get out. So the first line is going to be, you wake up and find, my bad, yourself in a dark, cold room. So it'll print that, and then just to give the user a delay, like time to like read that, we're going to type time, So that's the variable that we imported, and then sleep. So that tells the computer that you want the program to stop for a certain amount of seconds. And then you put your parentheses and however many seconds you want in between lines. And I'm going to put 2 seconds in so the user kind of has some time to read. And if you've done some coding before, you might notice that we are not putting semicolons at the end of each line. And we don't do that because that's not how Python works. Most coding languages work like that, but Python's a little bit special. So we're going to put another line in. We're going to type print, parentheses, and then quotes. And my first option is going to be you look around and see a window that has been boarded up. Okay, so we got that, and then I'm going to put another delay in. Nope, not 21 seconds. Okay. So, now we're going to ask the player if they want to take the boards off the window and like try to get the boards off the window, or if they don't. So, for that we need a variable, and for this I'm just going to use Q1, so like question 1. And then we're going to say equals to input. So, the input is taking what the user is saying. So, let's say they choose, like we give choices, we say A, B, C, all the way through Z, and we say, like, A would be, like, your favorite color is orange, B would be purple, or whatever, and if they say A, something will print. So we're kind of like making like an if statement in a sense. If you don't know what that is, I'll go through it in the next minute or so. Excuse me, got some gas. Okay. So we can go input and then just the same thing with the quotes and the parentheses. So let's say you can either try to open the window or not do anything. So then we're going to say press A to open the window, and press B to not do anything. Okay. So now we have that. Now we're going to use an if statement. So we're going to say if question 1 or Q1 is equal to A. So if they answer A, if they press A, this is going to happen. Then we're going to put those things, I don't remember what they're called, but you know what I mean. You can see it. So if they answer A, we're going to say print you are glad you did. The window opened and now you are able to see around the room. Okay. Now, what if they didn't answer A? What if they answered B, right? I'm going to make this full screen so it's just easier to use. So if they didn't answer A, we are going to put an else statement in there. So we type else, then these, and then, so what this is saying, if you don't understand if statements, it's saying if this thing is equal to this, it'll print one thing or complete one action, but if it's not, it will complete something different. So since they didn't open the window, we are going to say print and then we're going to say, wow, really? Okay, so we have that. Now, what I did is I wanted the program to exit there, because there's like no point in playing if you didn't do the first step correctly. So we're going to go system, that's why we imported system, and then we're going to type exit, and then parentheses. So what this will do is it'll print, wow, really, and then it'll exit the program. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So run the file. Okay, so let's say, press B. So let's press B, and then they press enter, and it says, wow, really, and then it exits. And it's going to exit right now if you go with A, because we don't have anything after that. So let's add some stuff. So after the computer says, you are glad you did, the window opened, and now you are able to see around the room, we want to give it a delay, because it didn't exit, and we want to give the player time to like read it and kind of look at their next decision. So we're also going to go print, and then we're going to see you see a bed. Sorry, my typing's off today. Some metal bars blocking the way. You must be in a prison cell. There is also a handheld mirror on the... Okay, so we've got that. So they know that they're in a prison cell, and then there's a mirror on the wall. So we're going to give them time. And then... Okay. Okay. So, since this is the second question that we're asking, then we're going to put Q2, like question 2. And then we're going to say input. So we're asking for input again, and asking what they're going to do. So, let's say press B to go to the bed. Press H to go to the metal bars, and press M to go to the mirror. Okay. So we have their input, but we're not doing anything with it yet. So we're going to type if Q2 is equal to, and what is our first extension? B. So always put it in lowercase, just so the player doesn't have to press shift to make it an uppercase B. It just makes it easier on the player, and it just makes it easier to understand. So sorry, I'm thinking. Okay. So we're going to say if this, and then we're going to say print, and then we're going to say you go to the bed, the sheets are pretty dirty, but there is nothing here to help you escape. Okay, and then I'm also going to do the exit program code here. So, and then we're going to say elif. So it's like an if statement, so we can say Q2 is equal to, and we're going to put M here. So we're going to say print the mirror is small. Actually, no, we're going to say the mirror is pretty small just for it to make more sense. You decide to grab it as it might be useful. Is that how you spell useful? I don't care. Useful later. So, we're going to end that one there, and then we're going to say else. So, if they press, what would it be, H? We're going to see, we're going to say the lock is a button lock, but you can't see anything else. So it's kind of like they can play it over and over again, and if they choose the wrong decisions this time, they might get it next time. So let's make sure our code works. So we're going to press F5. You wake up and find yourself in a dark, crowded room. You can look around and see the window has been boarded up. You can either try to open a window or not do anything. Press A to open the window. Press B to not do anything. So we're going to press A and enter. You're glad you did. The window opened and now you're able to see around the room. You see a bed, some metal bars blocking the way. You must be in a prison cell. There's a bed and there is... I'm sorry. I can't see the full thing. There's also a handheld mirror on the wall. Press B to go to the bed, press H to go to the metal bars, and press M to go to the mirror. So, I am going to press M, and this says the mirror is pretty small. You decide to grab it as it might be useful later. Okay, it's working so far. Now, we're going to add a little bit more. So, we're going to say... So if they choose M, that's the right decision. So we're going to go time.sleep, and let's give them 2 seconds. So now we say print. You now have the mirror. Let's see, like what should we do now? So we're gonna ask the player. I'm trying to just think how to word it. What will you do now? Okay. Let's give them some more time. Okay. So it looks like I drew out a plan here. So what we're gonna do is we're going to give them a decision to go back to the metal bars, the bed, or put the mirror back. So since this is question 3, we're gonna make a Q3 obviously, and then input. So our input is going to be press H to go to the metal bars, B to go to the bed, and M to put the mirror back. Okay. So now we can go if question 3 is equal to, let's do H first. Print. Okay. You can see the lock again. Since this time you have the mirror, you decide to put your arm through and point the mirror at the lock. Okay. So, it. Okay. So now we need to do the other decisions. So we're going to say elif Q3 is equal to B, so the bed. We're going to say print, what should we say? I guess we can just say the same thing. So, go to the bed, the sheets are pretty dirty, and there is nothing here to help you. Okay, so since there's nothing there to help them, we're going to exit the program, and then we're going to say else, and it says put the mirror back. You want to put the mirror back. That might not have been the best idea. Okay, so since they made a mistake, we're going to say exit. Bam. Okay. So if they selected M, H will say, no, sorry, H, they will go to the middle bars and they will see the lock. So we're going to say time.sleep, give them 2 seconds. Then we're going to say print. With the mirror, you can see some dirty fingerprints on the lock. Time.sleep. I like to give them the players some time after each line. So now we're going to ask them if they want to press the buttons. So question 4 would be input. Should you press the buttons? Press B to press the buttons. Very clever. Or R to. What should R be? I mean, we could go back to the main room. Let's do that. Let's go back to, like, the middle of the room. Okay. So now we need to say if question 4 is equal to B, we need to say, print, you decided to press the buttons. So we're just going to kind of have it play out from here. So I'm going to do time.sleep, 2 seconds, and then we're going to say print, click, and then we're also going to say the door opened. Let's make it excited. The door opened. You are free. You're free. Okay, so then we're going to just exit the program. So we still need to add our else. So if we do else and then we say print, and we're going to say why though, and we're going to put it that way. Okay, then we're going to say system exit. I forgot the I. Okay, so we have a little bit of a functioning game now. Let's play it, make sure it works. Nope. You wake up and find yourself in a in a dark, cold room, you look around and see a window that's been boarded up. You can either try to open the window or not do anything. Press A to open the window, press B to not do anything. So we're going to press A. You are glad you did. The window opened and now you're able to see around the room. You see a bed, some metal bars blocking the way. You must be in a prison cell. There is also a handheld mirror on the wall. Press B to go to the bed, press H to go to the metal bars, and press M to go to the mirror. So we're going to press M. Then we're going to say the mirror is pretty small. You decide to grab it as it might be useful later. You now have the mirror. What will you do now? Press H to go to the metal bars, B to go to the bed, and M to put the mirror back. So we're going to press H. You can see the lock again. Since this time you have the mirror, you decide to put your arm through and point the mirror back at the lock. With the mirror, you can see some dirty fingerprints on the lock. Should you press the buttons? Press B to press the buttons or R to return to the middle of the room. So we're going to press B. You decide to press the buttons. Click! The door opened! You are free! Bam! Okay. Actually, I missed a period here. So we're going to... Okay. So now we have a full functioning game, and you guys can add to it. This is just kind of like the bare bones of how to get everything done. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I would love to see what you guys have done with this. And thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.